he wants to play. I'm hyped. It is my first time behind the wheel of a Nissan GTR, but this is a 2025 Nissan R35 GTR. These first debuted in 2008, and reviews at the time were pretty critical. Although the car had tremendous performance, people said it was too numb, too digital, too removed from the driving experience. It's also very heavy. The car weighs 3,850 pounds, which even by modern standards is no featherweight, and back then even more so. But obviously 2007, when the car first debuted for the 2008 model year, was a long time ago, and I'm curious, how does it compare today in 2025 as a driver-focused car? We're powered by a 3.8-liter twin-turbocharged V6, that's the VR38 DETT, making 530 horsepower, 488 pound-feet of torque with a 6-speed DCT. We have double wishbone in the front, multi-link suspension in the rear, and of course, Nissan's innovative Ateza all-wheel drive system. Now that uses electronic sensors and hydraulically actuated clutches. It also has this yaw rate feedback control system, so you can manage your slip angle very effectively. And quite impressively, the front to rear torque split can go from 2% front, 98% rear to 50-50. Now with the 2012 model here, there was a facelift, the car got 45 more horsepower, stiffer suspension, improved aero and chassis rigidity, and restyled front and rear bumpers. Market value for these is right around $70,000 to $80,000, and the pre-facelift versions, the ones that have 485 horsepower, can be had for a bit cheaper, something around $60K. In terms of mods, the owner has Whiteline sway bars, Yokohama AD09 in the stock section with size, so that's 255 in the front and 285 in the rear, EBC Blue brake pads, and an alignment with about 2.5 degrees of negative camber in the front. And getting into the interior, I mean, it's a Nissan from 10 to 15 years ago, and yet it feels so special in here. You have a manual handbrake. You don't see that anymore. And you have this interior that is unique to the GTR. It feels special. And sure, you may argue about some switchgear and such, but I mean, look at this. You got these cool toggles, one for each, the all-wheel drive system, the adaptive dampers, and the traction control, and you hold it up to get into the R mode. I think that's awesome. You have these forged magnesium paddles. They look like they're dirty, but that's actually just forged magnesium. And in later model years, they went away from this because a lot of people complained about the appearance. I think it's cool. Now you just toggle between auto and manual just by pressing this, and it goes back to center. So it doesn't stick on the side like it normally does in most other vehicles. We'll start off in manual. Seating position is very upright. This is the lowest the seat goes, and it has these very unique controls. Like each of the controls are separated: the height, the front to rear, how forward and back you go in the seat. I guess Nissan has always done kind of interesting motorized seat controls, and you feel like you're sitting on top of the seat rather than in it. It has a bit of lateral support, but I still feel like I'm too high up, both in terms of seating position and on the seat. I'm not sinking into it enough. Oh, wow, okay. $530 horsepower. Definitely plenty for a car like this. Oh, wow. You get on the power, and it'll just help rotate you. This is really interesting. This is like a front-engine, rear-wheel drive car that just has additional grip and stability from all-wheel drive, but it has this level of rotation and playfulness that you wouldn't expect from an all-wheel drive vehicle. You're feeling that heft though, 3,850 pounds. It's not hiding its weight, but this thing is still so competent. It feels like it has a higher center of gravity, and yet still pretty good body control. Suspension is obviously on the stiffer side to get that body control, but it's not punishing. This is actually still pretty good quality suspension. good damping quality. Let's give you, we're gonna go back to auto. Let's give you launch control. 2012s don't have any issues with the transmission. Man, that is violent. I love it. Wow. It is so funny how back in the day, by those standards, this was a digital driving experience. By modern standards, this is incredible. This is connected. This is fun. This has character. And the steering, we still have hydraulic steering. And it has this incredible precision. I mean, part of that is the additional negative camber and tires that the owner has added, but even still, just the setup of the vehicle is such a precise front end. I wasn't expecting that just looking at the car. Really sharp front end. You still feel the heft as you try to change direction. Oh, dude, she wants to play. My God, how was this digital back in 2007, 2008? This is wild to me. How things have changed. It really is a front-engine rear-wheel drive vehicle in terms of its character and fun and balance and all that stuff. And then it just gives you extra confidence. Now, you don't get, the confidence is there with the all-wheel drive, but part of it is reduced a little bit, a slight step back in confidence because of the weight and because you feel like it has a higher center of gravity. At least that's how it feels from behind the wheel. And the suspension is pretty firm, but it still takes a little bit of time for it to set. And for that reason, it makes you dial back a little bit. But then again, the all-wheel drive system helps you push harder. So you're at this point where you still feel pretty confident, but just a hair removed because of the weight and center of gravity. But man, this thing is way more fun and dynamic and engaging than I was expecting. This would be a riot on track, I'm sure. Now, in terms of the input, the steering actually, I mean, it has this really excellent feedback as well. Not just the sharpness, but the feedback through the wheel is excellent. And you get mid-corner load up. You can start pushing it harder. You can feel the steering weight up. It's telling you how much grip you have in the front tires. And it's exactly what you want from good sports car steering. Back into auto. Yeah, great feedback, great loading. Very impressed by that. Now, the pedals as well. Brakes have a little more slight softness to them. I think cars from this era overall didn't have as firm and bitey brakes as modern era, the way that we've tuned brakes modern day versus a decade and a half ago. But once you get into them, they still feel very easy to modulate. And one more launch. RPM redline. You do have a little bit of turbo lag in this engine, but when you're keeping the revs high, it's pretty minimal, and you still get quite, I mean, for a turbocharged engine, especially from this era, I'd say that the throttle response is on the sharper side. Obviously, lower revs, it's going to be less sharp, and you're going to have more lag. But I love the way this engine builds and the noise and even the drama with the shifts. I mean, for a car that's from 2012, the transmission is excellent. The downshifts in particular are really sharp, really quick. The upshifts can sometimes be slow depending on how hard you're pushing it. pretty good even by modern standards. And if you think back to PDK Porsches from this era, they were also not nearly as sharp as they are today. I think for a 2012 vehicle, this is actually a pretty impressive transmission, especially those downshifts. And even the actual actuation of these paddles. I mean, these are column mounted, not steering wheel mounted, which is uncommon. You see that more in Italian cars. And I definitely prefer steering wheel mounted, but that's a whole other conversation. But the travel here, the actuation, the crispness, it's also, even by modern standards, very crisp and very sharp. Overall, very impressed by the vehicle. For $70,000, you're getting so much driving experience and so much sharpness, and even when compared to other vehicles today at 70K, like, this does not feel like a 15-year-old driving experience. This feels very modern, very sharp, very dynamic and fun and engaging. Oh, God. First time behind a GTR, did not disappoint. I'm really impressed. Big thanks to the owner, Oleg, for letting me review his Nissan GTR. Shout out to Fenton from the Zygreen channel for making this review possible. My friends, if you want your car reviewed, visit us on jabalandcars.com. Fill out the form on the homepage, and I'll see you all in that next one.